Welcome to another video from the Fluffy Cow Studio. So grateful that you decided to pop in today. Sure hope you enjoy what we got planned today. I've got some easy DIYs for you. Let's get started. We're going to start with this round little blank wood that I got from Dollar Tree. It came in a set of 3. And I'm not sure if this is the middle size or the small size. And then I'm going to take some Jenga blocks and I'm going to glue them down, or with their standing up. I'm going to glue them standing up. And then I'm going to set one Jenga block in between each one of the ones that I glue down, just so I can get them spread out in the width right. Right now I got a little bit too much glue on there and I am wiping it off. But I am just gluing them down the long way so they're standing up. And then I set, my hands are in the way, but I set a Jenga block in between so I can space them. And I am just going to do that all the way around. Now I don't go all the way around, I go most of the way around. This is going to be holding a coaster set, and so I need to leave a space so you can get your fingers through, which you can anyway because of the spaces between the Jenga blocks, but it just makes it easier for you to get the coasters out. Okay, and I think, oh, I'm gonna do another one. Oh yeah, yeah. And this does not take very long to do. It's really quick and easy. I am using Titan Bond wood glue. Okay, now after that gets good and dry, and I did let it dry for at least a couple hours, and now I'm going to go over it all. I'm going to paint it all with nutmeg. I'm going to do the bottom of it, the back side, the underside, I guess. I'm going to do each and every one of those Jengas in the front, back, and sides, and on the top. And I don't think I show this, but after we do this brown, the nutmeg brown, and it sits and dries, then I will take some black and just do a little bit of dry brushing over that brown so that it looks a little bit rustic. And I will do it along the Jenga blocks as well. But and if you don't like the rustic look, you don't need to do that. And I don't show all of this. I show it, me starting to paint it, just so you get the idea, but I don't think I showed all of it because it was so long. Okay, now that I got that done and I got my little black on, I'm taking some jute. And as what I'm doing is I'm wrapping it around one of those Jenga blocks, and then I'm going to wrap it around the next one and the next one. And I will keep doing that until I get to the end of it. And then I also am using E6000 glue, and what I'm doing is putting a little bit on the outside edge, and I will go all the way around And then that way I can just continue to wrap my jute around those Jenga blocks, and I don't have to stop every second to do that. Now I'm wrapping it around, and then I'm going to go wrap it around the next one, and the next one. And it doesn't look like that, but when you get to the end of this, then you'll go back the opposite way. And I think when I get to the end here, you'll just turn around and go back. And it's very easy. And I only go halfway up them. Just I want my the coasters to stay in there, but I don't want it all the way up. And I don't even know if I go a full halfway up. And you can judge, how you think. If you feel like you need it to go up a little higher, you can, or, you know. And you don't even have to do this if you didn't want to, but I just think it made it look a little bit better. And again, we was going with the rustic look, and this is going to my niece who just got married, and I carved that coffee table for her, and so this is going to be a set of coasters to, put their drinks on their coffee table. I used plexiglass to go over it instead of glass, and I was afraid that if the glass broke, because where it was carved it wasn't even, I was afraid if the glass broke and shattered, it'd scratch and cut up the table. So I did the plexiglass, and I just wanted to make sure she had some coasters to put something, the things that were hot on, so that it wouldn't destroy her table. And so now after at the end I'm gluing it, and then I'm holding them down with some clamps from the Dollar Tree. Now I got these little horse coasters off of Temu, as well as the round cork that I am putting on. These weren't very thick, and I just wanted them to have a little more protection. So I am just adding them up. They're really cute. They have horses on them. And since the carved table had horses on them, I decided that would be a good idea. Okay, now is what I did is this is a sign from the Dollar Tree. I liked the shape of it, but I didn't like the sign. And so I took it outside, I sanded it down a little bit to get all the glitter off, and then I spray painted it black. And now I'm bringing it in here after it got good and dry, and I am putting it's just clear coat, or just clear Elmer's glue. And I'm going to, this first time I tried it, instead of waiting for it to dry, I'm going to paint it, because I heard it said that you get better cracking if you do that. And so I am just going to put some white paint over the top of that, and hopefully it will crack really well. I will also be going over the little beads that are around the edge of that sign. Now, I did not say this on the coaster, but on the bottom of that coaster holder, I did put some cork on the bottom of that as well, and to keep the plexiglass from scratching and stuff. Okay, now I am going to go over, I'm using some ginseng, no, nutmeg from apple barrel, and I'm going over the beads and kind of giving it a just going over here and there with it, and I'm wiping it off. But my sign is dry. I made sure the paint was very dry, and I'm just kind of going over it a little bit with some of the burnt sienna, and actually I think this isn't burnt sienna, or do I even know what I'm talking about? I don't. Um, I'm using chocolate sprinkles from Apple Barrel, and it's a brown, and I'm just going around the edges and just wherever I think it might need a little bit of dry brushing, roughing it up, making it look old, like the paint might be peeling off. And then once that gets good and dry, then I am going to go over them beads again, and I'm going to do about 5 beads in red, and then I'm going to skip about 10, and then I'm going to go do 5 more and go all the way around. You can do more or less, it doesn't matter. And I don't know that I counted every single time. Then I'm going to take a, this is it Kelly green? No, I think this is marsh green. And I'm going to go over the beads next to the red. I'm going to do 5 of them and skip and just kind of keep doing that all the way around like I did the red. Okay, and then I am going to put the chocolate sprinkles over the the next 5. I think what's left is the nutmeg ones, and I'm going over them ones with the brown after I get the red and green done. Okay, now that we got this done, now I did right on this. I used my Sharpie pen, but I didn't like the way it looked. It blended in too much with the colors. So what I did is I took I have a little clip art of a barn. I glued that down with glue stick, and I glued this horseshoe down with E6000, and my flowers I am gluing down with Titan Bond Quick and Thick, and I'm just using some fall kind of colors. I got them at the dollar store, the flowers. Got some wheat in there and some maroon and a couple sunflowers. So I didn't like the writing, as I had said. It kind of blended in too much. I couldn't make it pop a little bit better. So I created a little sign. And as what that sign says is life is better on the farm. And then I just glued it on again with the glue stick. And then I kind of went over it with some of the nutmeg and with some antique white to kind of make it look more like a sign, and then I outlined it with a Sharpie. And for the hanger, I just used the jute rope that was on it, but I think it was 5, yeah, I did 5 beads of the red, 5 beads of the green, and 5 beads of the brown, the wooden beads. And there it says life is better on the farm. I made it look like a little sign rather than the way it was. And then I have my horseshoe, and I spray painted that. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit and spray painted it black, and then I put it on around that clip part. Then I took it and I did go over it with some Mod Podge because I wanted all the paper things to be sealed and stuff. So, and this is our final project today. This is a little quick one. I thought it was longer than it was, but I think I had an issue talking today. I think I had a little brain tumor there for a minute. Something was going haywire anyway with my tongue and all. But I do want you to know that I am really thankful and glad you popped in today. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. And we'll see you with our next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.